Check, so I count the days to Friday. Got paid, got a fat ass check, so I count the days to Friday.
Count the days till Hot head, happy if I'm fed, 2 tacos to go. Watch me side, roll my eyes, twirl my hair, group of strange wax figures, the victim bound to a chair. Peculiar feeling of cold mechanism in a gothic horror nightmare. Who is the killer suspect? The mysterious Dr. X. The return of the moon killer. Is that you, Dr. X? The mysterious Dr. X.
brethren. Move when the bass been eject them. Like a balloon from the neck them. Put your teeth, stick it to your rib then. Sweat up the wall with your brethren. Move when the bass been eject them.
Talk to me.
teenager is at 5 o'clock in the morning. The After Hours Club. The clubs attract thousands of Chicago area young people. Some say they come looking for drugs, dirty dancing, and pounding techno music. Do you know where your teenager is at 5 o'clock in the morning? The After Hours Club. The clubs attract thousands of Chicago area young people. Some say they come looking for drugs, dirty dancing, and pounding techno music. Looking for pounding techno music. Techno music. Looking for drop. Pounding techno music.
Test. Okay, cool. Okay. Let's pick a side.
I'm here. I'm good.
Very, very, very nice. Cool. You're live and direct with Esizayo. Welcome, everybody. Firstly, a big thank you to all our sponsors. We've got to do that. Radisson RED presents our live stream along with Unknown Union, and thanks so much to the BOAZ boat. They've got a beautiful initiative where they're all about cleaning up the ocean and living a no plastic, or let's get rid of single plastics. Let's get that done. And then also Who am I forgetting? I think that's it. And, oh yeah, powered by Roland. Anyways, let's give it up for Kapital. Thanks very much for popping our cherry with our first off-site stream. And yeah, basically producer, record label owner.
Yeah.
Sure, there's so many more accolades. Do you want to just give us a shout of what all that's about?
First of all, thank you to everybody who for tuning in, and for everyone who's going to watch this later. Big up to Esizayo. Really glad that we got to do this. Big up to Radisson RED. Big up to Yacht BOAZ and everyone else who's been involved. Yeah, record label owner, DJ, producer, kind of somewhat artist manager at times. General good guy in the dance music scene. I try to be as involved in everyone else's careers as possible, but in the best way. Like I'm around to try and make new artists around the world. I want to kind of unite all of us together because there's like a whole next gen. I played a lot of the music I played today actually was just kind of the next wave of dope producers. Mark J from Brazil, Nick Quick, so NIQW, Nick Uve from Finland, Botnek obviously as well, who released Ecstasy, Jawara, Rotic, so many different awesome people that I got to play right now. So yeah.
Yeah, basically, let me just jump into that part. Speaking of the future of dance music, I mean, if you look at the pendulum coming up, seeing you back in the assembly days, there was this whole push from bands, and then the whole electro sort of wave came in, and it was like that attitude, and now we had this huge throwback to nostalgia culture, you know? Basically, guys now just like dumping in any kind of what's the word, sample, basically, you know, and bringing that to life. Where do you see dance culture going in the future?
Yeah, so about that, like the revival thing, like my sound has always been very dictated by not even nostalgia, but like there's a classic element. Like I grew up listening to 90s dance music, so there's always been, you know, if you listen to my Moon Boudica remix that just came out, that's overtly an homage to 90s house, but sometimes you'll hear stuff of mine and there'll just be a little rave stab here or there or something. I think a lot of dance music is moving that way. A lot of the guys who made the move to EDM, maybe they started in-house, they kind of went a bit more big room as the scene dictated it, because globally there was a need for that and a lot of artists enjoyed it for a while. Obviously, you know, there's a big push in South Africa to go back to techno. There's a big push for tech house, which I absolutely love. I'm finding the most joy in the spaces in between all the genres, and I think more and more artists are comfortable going, you know what, here's me collaborating with a, you know, uplifting European trance producer, but we're going to make cool house music that's got like a European trance edge, because then the trance labels will sign it because they know, hey, this is house, but this is trance. This is techno, but this is acid. This is all different sort of stuff. So I think, yeah, the whole next gen should really be about finding your own unique voice, which is just a combination of your influences. Don't go and, you know, just go like, oh, I want to sound like X or Y. Go, I like what X does, I like what Y does, but I can do it my own way. That's where all the people I surround myself with are moving. It's where I'm trying to move myself and where I am through the music. You know, you heard some new stuff that's coming out tomorrow that's pretty out there. It's like really weird, and there's some stuff coming out in the next few months that was in that set. It's just a fusion, and I think fusion is the most important thing.
Okay, really interesting. Talking about that, would you consider yourself more of a conceptual sort of producer? The reason being, I spoke to another producer, and his whole take is he based an entire album on perfumes, and there's 12 notes in a perfume, so that kind of like restricted him. Is there a way that I'm kind of diving into your creative source here, but are you more of a conceptual guy, or do you just feel it out and whatever sticks works?
I think I normally go into everything. So for the last 6 months, I've been remixing just because it's been off the back of Hit the Club last year on this in Bristol, off the back of a couple of like remixes that really resonated within the community rather than necessarily with an audience. It meant that a lot of labels were kind of, you know, have been coming my way, and it's forced me to be very creative because there's been like, you know, you've got 2 weeks to finish this remix type of thing. I will go in with a vision, generally with an idea of, if there's a vocal and a melody, I'll go, I want to take this in a different direction. But yes, it is kind of like, I do sort of have a theme sometimes. So there was a remix there that's going to be in this mix that's coming out on audiophile XXL in the US in April, I believe. And for me was like, okay, I'm going to flip this song because I've heard all the other remixes. I've heard the original. I want to do something maybe a little bit throwback. And then the kind of rave stabs lended itself to having like a funk feel. So I'll try and limit myself to 2 ideas. There's a VIP coming out for Endor in mid next month, 1 month away from now, which the theme is basically like taking his original, flipping it on its head, but also giving it a bit of a reggae feel because of the theme of the track. You'll hear it and it'll understand, but there's like a dub reggae idea. So I go house, aggression, and what am I going to spice this up with? Or we're doing something more chilled, more garagey. What are we going to spice this up with? Like I try and sort of like the Perfumes thing. It's like that kind of. I go like I'm trying not to do a song that's, you know, it's an acid deep house song that also has whatever techno influence. Like no. Just try and distill it down to maybe 2 ideas, and then but it entirely just happens naturally through messing around, because I'll go through about 4 or 5 different drafts before I go, okay, this is the one that works.
So let's dial it all the way back to the beginning. Basically, what happened? What started that sparked that interest to go into house music or dance music? I mean, why not in design or something visual? Or what was that spark?
I was always super interested in a lot of different things. I actually was tempted to get into like advertising at one point because I've got like a family heritage there. I was going to maybe do... I really love visual design. A lot of the visual elements that people see to do with me, whether it be just the Indus We Trust track lists when those are up, or certain flyers or whatever, like I try and have as much of a hand in that as possible. But the music thing has just always been in the background. I don't want to do one of those stories where everyone goes like, my family is so musical and we're no. But like my mom sang a lot. It was really frustrating because she used to sing and harmonize the whole time. And my dad knows all this back-end knowledge about who produced what record and did whatever in the 80s, you know, for like whoever, Elton John, whatever, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so between them, I picked that up, and I just grew up on all kinds of music. My parents played me a lot, my dad especially, a lot of uplifting trance, a lot of hard dance, a lot of Faithless in the 90s. I always cite them as a reference, because I got to introduce my dad to Sister Bliss, which was this ridiculous 20-year thing coming full circle where like I was in a car listening to that music. And I started writing music when I was 12, 13, like just lyrics. I started producing because I wanted to be a rapper, because I'm like, I'm going to be better than Eminem, and I didn't know how anything worked. And when I started producing, I just kept going. I made really spacey, weird electronic music. And then when I turned 18 is when I fell in love with like Justice, A-Track, like that blog electro sound, that like weird boys noise, all that stuff. And that's when I was like, you know what, I've always loved dance music. Let's bring it all the way back here. And it's been a bit of a journey finding my feet from that point and also increasing my skills. But yeah, it's just a natural progression for me, dance music. At this point now, the way I used to obsess over rap music, I now obsess over dance music. If you ask me what I listen to, yes, I listen to other music, but my bread and butter is actually listening to the music I DJ. It's my favorite stuff to listen to, and that's why I play it.
So we're very fortunate enough to have a good partnership or sponsorship with Unknown Union. I don't know if you know the brand at all, but since you have such a extensive tech rider, it was a fun one, but they have been very kindly enough to gift you with some awesome new threads and caps and stuff. And then let's just round it off for one last question. Bring it to all the kids and up-and-coming producers, want to be producers, want to be DJs. What advice would you give them coming into the game? All that you've learned now, what would you have done differently for them so they can fast-track their...
Okay. Firstly, thank you, Unknown Union. I appreciate you. You're so nice. Thank you to everyone involved. You treated me so well. I really am thankful. My hospitality rider isn't that bad. It's fine. I actually literally just did... shout out to Tiesto, who is sitting on my bed right now. Nice picture of him. I literally just... an article was just published on for Insomniac Events out in the US, like one of the sort of premier American party promoters. And I actually wrote extensively about South Africa in there. If you want to go and read more of my thoughts, please just go and check my social media. I've posted it. But otherwise, the most important thing I said in there is a lot of South Africans make the mistake of, specifically young South Africans, make the mistake of thinking like, I need to be big in South Africa, where it's a big fish in a small pond situation. I have chosen to avoid the rat race here and pursue my career as a musician in a global context, because it doesn't matter if the journey's slower, it's more rewarding. I'm part of a real community. I feel welcomed. Find your own sound. Don't think... I always use Kyle Watson as an example. Shout out to Kyle Watson. What a sweet angel. But, everybody goes, okay, I want to sound like Kyle Watson right now, or I want to sound like Chanda Monkey right now, where the whole reason they're popular is because they made themselves sound like that. No one else was sounding like them. You find your niche, whether it be taking inspiration from them and carving your own path, whatever it is. Just get out there, find your own voice, build an audience at home in your own town, get gigs in your town, start playing outside of your town. But once your audience is there, don't start releasing on the same labels that market to your audience already. There's a reason why I release on the labels that I release on. It's because I love them, and it's because they have an entirely different audience to mine, and it kind of creates this bigger global family that you're a part of. That is the way that you stop being the guy who's like, I can't get out of PE, I can't get out of East London, whatever. It's because, you know what, if people don't want to book you in East London, but you're one of the best producers in the country, fine. But if you're releasing consistently in the UK, guess who's going to fly you out at some point, you know? Easy.
Thank you very much. So let's end on that. You're live and direct with Esizayo.
Thanks.